5 years ago tonight, December 18th, 1956, one of these men stood on this stage and said,
"My name is Cecil Underwood."
My name is Cecil Underwood. My name is Cecil Underwood.
Only one of these men is the real Cecil Underwood. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Ralph Bellamy, Dina Merrill, Johnny Carson, and Betty White on To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Brought to you this week by Dristan Nasal Mist, the new decongestant spray for relief from miseries of sinus congestion and head colds. Good evening, panel. I don't know how many of you know it, but you're taking part in a very signal occasion tonight. We are celebrating 5 years on the air. It was exactly 5 years ago tonight that we began with Tell the Truth. So happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary to us, because I was there watching it. I know that.
All right, let's open up your envelopes, take out your affidavit cards for the first time, and follow along as I read. I, Cecil Underwood, am the former governor of the state of West Virginia. I served my 4-year term and am now vice president of the Island Creek Coal Company. On December 18th, 1956, when I was governor-elect, I was the first person to appear on the very first broadcast of To Tell the Truth. Signed, Cecil Underwood. All set, gentlemen? Finally, you just heard these three gentlemen claiming to be Cecil Underwood, who appeared on our program exactly 5 years ago tonight. And let's begin this first round of questioning with Betty White. Betty?
Thank you, Bud. Mr. Underwood, number one, there's a racetrack in West Virginia, a small racetrack. Could you give me the name of it? Number two?
I'm afraid I couldn't.
Could you?
Which one of the four do you want?
Well, I'd like to hear all four of them.
Charlestown 1 and 2, Wheeling, and Waterford.
Well, it's obviously not number two. He's a horse player. He wasn't the one. Thank you very much. Number three, what street is the Capitol building on in West Virginia?
It's on Kennewaga Boulevard. It's not a street, boulevard.
And the name of it again?
It's Kenawa, Kennewaga.
And, thank you.
And Ralph Bellamy.
Number one, who were the other two contestants on with you that night? Do you happen to remember what their business was or what their occupation was?
Gosh, I don't remember who they were. I'm sorry.
Number two, do you?
I remember one was a scientist, the other I don't know.
Number three, would you agree with that in part?
In part, the other one was a doctor.
Uh-huh. Number three, what's the population of West Virginia?
It's a little under 2 million.
Number one, what cross-country main artery goes through Wheeling, West Virginia? What's the number of it? Number of the road?
40.
40. Let's see. Number two, where's the Island Creek Coal Company headquarters?
The headquarters is in Huntington, West Virginia.
Dina.
Mr. Underwood, number one, who is the West Virginia golf champion?
I don't know.
Number two, do you know?
The amateur golf?
The amateur golf champion, yes.
Bill Camel.
Thank you. Number three, what kind of coal do you mine?
Bituminous.
I see. Number one, what is the name of the senator of your state?
Senator Randolph.
And how long has he been senator?
He's just been elected.
He's just
In fact,
been elected.
I ran against him and lost.
Johnny.
You did run for the second term, though.
No, the second term isn't allowed. You're not allowed to succeed yourself as governor of West Virginia.
I see. Number two, what is the only state in the country that has a unicameral legislature?
I believe that's Nebraska.
Number three?
It's Nebraska.
Number one?
Nebraska.
the only question I knew. Who was on the panel 5 years ago on the show, the panelists? Number 3, please.
Well, it was Polly Bergen, John Cameron Swayze, Dick Van Dyke, and I believe Miss Parks.
Number 1, would you agree to that?
Yes.
Number 2?
Yes.
Of course you do.
All right, there we go. Now, that brought back a lot of memories for me. And we have to vote now. There's no further time for questioning, so will you kindly tend to that, panel? Take your pencils and your ballots, and without conference, without consultation, will you mark your ballots for number 1, number 2, or number 3? Our team of challengers will, as is customary, receive $250 for every incorrect vote.
Rayburn.
Hello there.
Dawson.
Survey's done.
The Sass.
I don't mind your shedding tears of joy, but you're crying on my new suit.
The Class.
You're gonna watch the tele tonight, are you?
The Long Mike.
That is absolutely correct.
The Longer Kiss.
I've gotten aroused.
2 originals, 2 hours.
The lunatics have taken over the asylum,
Match Game and Family Feud together again. Weekdays at 10, only on BUZZR.
You said it very well.
Let's play. Can you imagine TV without the deal of the day? The winning match, easy as...
Hi.
Or the family huddle?
Come on, honey.
Well, maybe you can imagine it, but why would you want to?
He's holding my hand. Now, don't do that. I am not.
Primetime Buzz. TV just wouldn't be the same without it. Weeknights starting at 8, only on BUZZR. Let's play.
Ralph, all set? For whom did you vote?
Number 1. Mainly on his answers to the question about the Senate and the governorship. I touted myself. I was on number 3 for a while, but I came back to number 1.
Okay. Dina, which one did you select?
Well, I voted for number 2, Bud. He knows my pal Billy Campbell. And he's got to be from West Virginia, I think, or I don't think he would have known about him.
Okay, Johnny.
I have to go with number 2. Being a former Nebraskan, they do have a unicameral legislature there. So I'm, you know what that is?
What is it, Johnny?
Well, I'm not sure. I think it's where they don't exactly have a 2 houses. It's all one body.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Betty.
Well, I just went for number 2 for lots and lots of reasons, but I think mostly because number 3's answers sounded like the kind of answers that he might have been trying to fool us with. They were so pat, and I don't know the racetracks in West Virginia, but that Charleston 1 and 2, that sounded very, very sincere.
Well, we have the panel with 3 on 1 and 1 on number 1 there, all alone, all by himself, Ralph is. Let's see whether we are right or wrong in our voting as we discover right now which one of these gentlemen is the real member of our Tell the Truth show. First one, as a matter of 5 years ago. So will the real Governor Cecil Underwood please stand up? Well, it's a real pleasure, Governor, to have you back with us tonight to help us celebrate our anniversary.
It's a pleasure to be back here, but I don't make much money out of this. Hope I was able to sell a little coal.
Yeah, well, you might get some orders before you leave. I would like to state that at the time that Governor Underwood was with us 5 years ago, he was at that time the youngest governor in the country. He's aged rather well, I think. Don't think it shows too much. Thanks again, Governor, for helping us celebrate. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please, sir?
My name is James Pickering. I am an astronomer with the American Museum Hayden Planetarium. And I became a professional liar 5 years ago tonight because I was on that same show pretending to be Governor Underwood.
Just for fun, Mr. Pickering, did you get any votes that time?
I got 3.
Oh, you got 3?
They had a different method of scoring. I had 5 votes for the audience, and I got 3 out of the 5.
That's right, the audience was taking part of that first show, the very first one. It changed right after that. Number 3, your real name, sir, and what you really do, please.
My name is F. Ray Keyser, Jr. I am not the governor of West Virginia, but I am currently the youngest governor in the United States, and I'm governor of the Green Mountain State, Vermont.
Vermont. Keezer, I want to thank you for leaving your beautiful state, the Green Mountain state of Vermont, to come down here and join us.
Well, it's always a pleasure to join you, and I'd like to take this opportunity to invite the panel, you, and everyone that would like to come up and visit the beauty state of the nation.
Well, she's a mighty pretty state, believe me. Thank you very much, sir. We'll take that right there. Checking over the score, we find there were 3 right votes, only 1 incorrect, for $250 from Dristan and a gift package of the fine products from the makers of Dristan. But, gentlemen, we thank you very much for being with us and helping us celebrate. Good night, and God bless you. Now, a word of interest about a new nasal spray.
When you suffer the miseries of sinus congestion and head cold's distress, now get quick, deep relief. Use Dristan Nasal Mist with the decongestant most prescribed by doctors to bring deep relief. The nasograph proves the effectiveness of Dristan Mist. Look, almost no air coming through this victim's nostrils. Now, to demonstrate, we spray Dristan Mist into one nostril. In seconds, Dristan Mist penetrates deep into clogged nasal passage, even to the sinus openings. Quickly, it shrinks those swollen membranes, promotes sinus drainage, thus relieves pressure. And a special protective ingredient controls postnasal irritation. Almost instantly, the nasograph shows full, free breathing restored in nostrils sprayed with Dristan. So if you want deep relief, relief that really opens clogged nasal passages immediately to let you breathe freely again, get Dristan Nasal Mist.
Now, panel, our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Bonnie Guitar. My name is Bonnie Guitar. My name is Bonnie Guitar.
Follow along once again, panel, if you will, please, with your copies of this affidavit. I, Bonnie Guitar, am a singer. I perform in nightclubs and on television. One of my records, Dark Moon, has sold some 1 million copies. I have never completely gotten over my love of horses. I own and race a string of quarter horses. I sometimes act as my own jockey. I've ridden my own horses in many races against men jockeys. My quarter horse Graybar once set a track record for 220 yards, hitting a speed of nearly 60 miles an hour. Signed, Bonnie Guitar. All set, ladies, and quite comfortable? Very well, let's go to work then. And we'll start figuring out which one of these who have just claimed to be Bonnie Guitar really is. And we start this cross-examination with our own guitar player jockey, Johnny Carson.
Bonnie number 1. What kind of a guitar do you play? How many strings?
6.
6-string guitar?
Strings, yes.
How do you tune a 6-string guitar? Isn't there a little phrase or something when you sing yourself to tune a guitar? You know what I'm referring to?
Do, re.
No, number 2?
E, A, D, G, B, and E.
No, that's an eye chart. No, I mean when you... Number 3, do you know what I'm referring to? A little phrase that you hum to yourself when you tune a...
My dog has fleas?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
You got to say my dog has fleas real bad if they're a 6-string.
Yes.
Betty?
Thanks a lot. Number 1, what would be the easiest way for me to tell a quarter horse from a thoroughbred?
The easiest way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a quarter horse is one of the fastest horses.
Number 2? Pardon me. Number 1, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
And it is shorter than a thoroughbred.
Shorter in height?
In height than a thoroughbred.
Number 2, do you agree with that?
I suppose that the difference would be in the conformation, yes.
Conformation in what way? Height or length of body or...
Perhaps all over the general size of a horse.
Not so
Number
fast.
Ralph Bellamy.
No, just a minute.
Number 1, who has the record for the most records?
What do you mean?
Well, what singer has sold the most number of records?
What singer?
What singer,
Yes.
I really don't know, but
Number
Perry
2?
Como, I would think.
Number 2, do you know?
Probably Elvis Presley.
You're saying probably? 3, who would you say?
Frank Sinatra?
Uh-huh. Number 1, how long is a recording session?
Well, it all depends.
Well,
How things go.
technical terms. Number 2, how long is a musician's session?
3 to 4 hours.
Dina Merrill.
Number 2, when you say quarter horse, well, what's its blood made up of? What is a quarter horse, in other words?
It's a controversial question. It can be part thoroughbred, but basically they are a quarter horse, which is a pure breed.
Excuse me, basically it's what?
It's a quarter horse. It's a pure breed.
Then quarter doesn't mean quarter of anything.
I doubt that.
I see. Number 3, how do you measure the height of a horse?
By hands. The hand is 4 inches.
Yes.
Well, that's it. We have to stop with a pony, I guess. We didn't get quite up high enough to see how much that horse would measure. But we'll measure our votes right now, if you will, please, panel, by taking ballots and pencils, and let's go with marking. Without consultation, will you vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Need your lawn mowed? There's a whammy for that. Want to walk the dog? There's a whammy for that. But if you want to win, there's no whammy for that.
No whammy! No whammy!
Pesky little critters. Press your luck. Weeknights at 7 on Buzzer. Let's play.
All set, everybody. Ralph, for whom did you vote this time?
Number 3, mainly on my dog has fleas, and also seemed to have the most information about horses. I thought, anyway.
Nina.
I'll go along with Ralph. Number 2 did seem to know a lot about horses, but number 3 did too, and she seemed to know also about music.
Okay, Johnny.
I voted for 3 also because if my dog has fleas. That's the way you do a guitar. My dog has.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yes,
That's
well,
lovely, Johnny.
Bring it up so we can all hear it, Johnny.
No.
Betty.
Well, I'm swimming upstream. I voted for number 2. I liked her terminology about confirmation and the way she talked about horses. And if her dog has fleas, she shouldn't be so busy with her horses, you know.
All right, once again, we come to our own particular moment of truth on this, our 5th anniversary, as we find out which one of these 3 ladies is the real singer and jockey. So, will the real Bonnie Guitar please stand up? Thank you very much. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
I'm Marty Bond, housewife from New Rochelle, New York.
And number 3, you got most of the votes there. What is your real name and what do you really do?
I'm Caroline Smythe. I'm a marketing research analyst for Royal McBee Corporation.
Well, we checked the score, and I tell you, your Christmas shopping is going to take a boom in the next few days because with 3 incorrect at $250 each for a total for you ladies of $750 from Dristan, as well as on your way out, you'll receive a gift package with the fine products from the makers of Dristan. We thank you for being with us very much, and quarter horses will know. Good night, and God bless you. Now, here is a word about a new sleep product, Sleep Ease.
Don't lie awake again tonight. Take Sleep Ease. The next thing you know, it's morning. Sleep safely with Sleep Ease, effective as phenobarbital, yet no drug hangover, no drug habit. When your wake center is active, you can't sleep. Medically proved Sleep Ease turns off the wake center, brings on the start of sleep. You close your eyes, next thing you know, it's morning. Sleep Ease, used as directed, effective as phenobarbital, yet so safe. No drug hangover, no drug habit.
Now a word about heat.
Arthritis or rheumatism's minor pain, no matter how hard you rub, no salve, no liniment penetrates into muscles, joints, bones. Now get immediate relief, hours of relief. Get Heat. Heat works the only counter-irritation way doctors everywhere accept. Brush on Heat. Immediately, heat penetrates into your skin, replaces such pain arising from deep inside with soothing warmth. Relief lasts for hours. For arthritis or rheumatism's minor pain, get immediate relief. Get Heat.
The 50s were cool. The 60s were groovy. The 70s were happening. And the 80s? Well, they're just like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Experience it all. Ride the BUZZR Time Machine. Saturday starting at 8.
I present our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Harold Baker.
My name is Harold Baker.
My name is Harold Baker.
Follow along once again, if you will, panel. I, Harold Baker, was junior pocket billiards champion of the world when I was 15 years old. At 16, I started traveling about the country, giving exhibitions and playing the best local talent for money. Right after World War II, I realized I needed a more stable career, so I went to barber school under the GI Bill. I now own and operate my own barber shop. Billiards and pocket billiards, however, still play a big part in my life. I'm available at $100 per day as technical advisor to motion pictures, and I also give private lessons. Among the people I have worked with are John Wayne, Rock Hudson, Fred Astaire, and Marlene Dietrich. Signed, Harold Baker. Three gentlemen this time, panel, each one claiming, as you heard, to be Harold Baker, billiards expert extraordinary. We'll start this round with our own. I don't know whether you're a billiard expert or not. Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Number one, when was Willie Moscone champion?
He is right now.
Number two, when was Willie Hoppy champion?
He's been dead 5 years.
Number three, when was he champion?
Well, that's going back quite a long ways.
Number one, would you know when? Or number two?
No,
All right. Number one, where's your shop?
my shop is on in Hollywood.
I guessed that.
Yes.
Number two, what address?
6820 Hollywood Boulevard.
What cross street is that near, number two?
Allen Avenue.
Number three, what pictures did you do with all these stars you mentioned?
Seven Sinners and Mr. Court.
There are only 5 of them mentioned here. You say 7 sinners.
Tina.
Number one, what is a picture that is currently playing, which has to do with pool or billiards? I must say I'm very ignorant on this subject.
A hustler.
Thank you. Is it pool or billiards?
No, that is pocket billiards.
Pocket billiards.
We don't say pool.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh. Okay. Number two, do you know who the expert was who did the actual shots in that for the actors?
Paul Newman was the leading of that picture.
Yes, I know he was the actor, but who did the,
I don't know.
He's not that good.
I don't know.
He couldn't be. You don't know. Number three, do you know?
Willie
Who the
Moscone.
expert was? Willie Moscone. Number one, how do you get rid of dandruff?
The best way is to make sure you clean your scalp.
I see, but that's just washing, but is there some kind of special shampoo or something that you recommend?
Well, we use an egg shampoo consisting of egg, witch hazel, and salt. It'll get down deep.
Johnny.
Is beer good as a shampoo? I hear that beer is good for a shampoo. Is that right? Number one?
Yes, beer has been used as a shampoo.
Well, I hear ladies do that. They use beer.
Well, that's delicious.
You have happy dandruff, I know that. Number two, when one barber cuts another barber's hair, who does the talking?
Well, I think the barber who sits in the chair does most of the talking.
Uh-huh. Number one, what is the term snooker? What does that apply to?
Well, that's a game of pocket billiards using a smaller sized ball.
And three-cushion billiards is the exact terminology?
That is
What is
billiards. Three-cushion billiards is billiards.
that? Three-cushion billiards is billiards.
That's right. Well, when you're making a three-cushion shot, I assume you're working on a billiard table.
Well, what is snooker, then?
Well, snooker is on an actual table with pockets, like pocket billiards.
Betty.
Thank you, Bud. Number three, to put draw on a ball, how would you hit it?
You use reverse English, hitting underneath the ball.
Number two, what is a scratch?
Scratch is when your cue ball goes into any one of the 6 pockets.
Number one, what is a massé shot?
Well, you get way up in the air for that. That's good for withdrawal.
And number three, what is the farmer's friend? Now, number two, do you know farmer's device?
No, I don't.
Number one, do you?
No, I don't.
Number three, what is a rake? I don't mean somebody that hangs around a pool hall. I mean, what is a rake? Number 2, do you know what a rake is?
Yes, I do. A rake is what you use with a cue stick when you have to reach for a long distance while you're shooting pool.
Do you agree with that, number 1?
I call it a bridge.
That's what she...
You're just trying to confuse me. That's all you're doing.
Well, I don't mind telling you, you've confused me. You've been spending your time in places I never thought of. But in any event, it's time to mark your ballots now, panel, so will you kindly do so? And without consultation, vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3.
Next, think your job is weird? Just wait until you hear these career choices on What's My Line. Then keeping a secret is impossible with this panel. It's I've Got a Secret. Stay tuned.
Everybody set? Mine's all made up and ballots all marked? Okay, Ralph, for whom this time?
Number 2. Again, I was on all 3 of them at one time or another, but this was mainly on the readiness with which he had his address in the cross street and the rake. He was the only one who knew the rake. I know it's sometimes called a bridge, but I think it's called a rake, too.
Dina.
Well, I voted for number 1, Bud, because he knows an awful lot, seemed to know an awful lot about something I know absolutely nothing about.
And he convinced you. Johnny.
I didn't change. I just made a mistake. This is actually, this is supposed to be 1 because of the explanation of that billiards with pockets is, as he said, is billiards.
Yeah. I was confused before, but you made it so clear. Betty, your vote.
A good point there, John. I voted for number 1 simply because his non-committal answer about where the barber shop was, he didn't not know. He just gave us not a complete answer, and all the other answers were good in spite of that rake thing, which almost threw me, Ralph.
Okay, away we go then to our final analysis here of finding out who's which and what's what and who's right and who's wrong, as we learn which one of these gentlemen is the real billiard expert, barber, and so forth. Will the real Harold Baker, therefore, please stand up. Thank you very much, sir. That was a massé shot to end all massé shots, I think. Oh. Number 1, may we have your real name and what you really do? You garnered most of the votes.
My name is Jack London. I'm known as the world's greatest pickpocket. A performer, and I also lecture on con games.
And you conned most of the votes. Number 2, your real name and what you do,
My name is Woody Davis. I'm the operator of Woody's Bar and Grill over on 8th Avenue here.
Oh, gentlemen, that was good fun, believe me. And you're going to have good fun, too, in this bright and shiny season we're in, because you fooled the panel all the way down the line with that one, and that means, of course, a total of $1,000 for you to pass around between you. And you've given us good fun. You also get from us a gift package of fine products from the makers of Tristan. Good night, gentlemen, and a happy holiday season to you all. Well, that's all we have time for tonight, except I do want to say, Ralph, it's been great fun having you back on the panel again.
My pleasure, as always.
Back again soon. Next week, Darren McGavin will be joining the rest of the panel, and that's about it, folks. So good night, panel.
Good night, Bud.
Good night.
Bud Collier's saying good night from Tristan and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson-Bill Todman production. Marty Bond's gown by Steele Chapman. Riding equipment by Miller. Tell the Truth has been brought to you by Tristan Nasal Mist, the new decongestant spray for relief from miseries of sinus congestion and head colds. This is Johnny Olson saying goodnight for To Tell the Truth. This program was pre-recorded.